have a film in the festival called Jesus Was a Commie. We're with Arthur Miller on a play called Resurrection Blues, and he reckoned that if the Messiah, a Messiah, were to come to the earth today, what would we do? And in the play, he reckoned that we would crucify him. But this time, in between nails, we'd sell toothpaste and toilet paper. You know, that we would turn it into. This film that I have here, Jesus Was a Commie, is, you know, those are two words that are quite incendiary in America, to put those two words together, and it's a purposely provocative title, because the problem with most Christians is they don't act like Christ, you know. So I'm not religious, I'm spiritual, but I'm not religious. But if you take the things that he's supposed to have said and supposed to have done, then by definition he was a communist, a utopian communist, not a Bolshevik. And so it's a, you know, there's a lot of stuff in the film. It is a fascinating film, but it's really about all of the problems that we face in modern time, environmentally, socially, and politically. That we shouldn't hope that some Messiah is going to come to the earth and save us. That it's up to each and every one of us to solve the problems that we face. It's not.
How long is the film?
15 minutes.
David Bailey.
Tell me how you met Andy Warhol.
Oh, I forget, a long while ago. I remember. Someone called Mickey Denhoff, who was the art director of Glamour magazine, he was drawing shoes, and she said, there's a nice guy who thinks a bit like you should meet him. He's called Andy Warhol, because he was designing shoes for her, you know, a shoe page. Yeah. She was a very clever woman for an art director, and that's how I met him. We went, and then we sort of became friends, if you can become friends with Andy. And I had tea with his mother, actually, which was quite strange. And then that's how I knew him. And then 10 years later, I made the film about him. That's all.
What inspired you to make a film with him? About him, actually?
Something to do, really.
Oh, okay.
Something to do. I don't really I made lots of films, but I don't really make films. I mean, I do all sorts of things.
Well, you're known for your great photographs.
Yeah. I paint just as much, and
really
do sculpture, everything,
well,
whatever. It's not really. You're
a Renaissance man.
No, I just like doing things.
Who is the most interesting subject you ever photographed?
Interesting.
You know, somebody
that's interesting. Everyone I photograph's interesting. You just have to find it. If you can't find them interesting, it's something lacking in you.
Yeah, but some people are more difficult than others.
No, people are not difficult. Only if you make them difficult. If they're difficult, use their difficultness to.
Do you have a certain trick to make them at ease in front of the camera? Some people are very stiff in front of the camera.
No, just talk to people, make them relax.
Do you play music?
Sometimes.
Do you play the music you like or the music they like?
No, I play the music I like.
Oh, okay.
It's usually the blues, anyway.
Is there anyone that you wanted to photograph that you never got an opportunity?
Not really. I wouldn't mind photographing. Tina Brown and I tried for years to photograph Castro, but we could never organise it.
Well, but you don't have much time.
What, to do Castro?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, no, it's just, you said, who haven't I photographed? Right. It's not, I'm not going to die when he dies because I didn't photograph him.
Right. Now, you mainly worked in the UK, correct? Or you worked all over the world?
No, I had a contract with American Vogue for about 15 years, Italian Vogue 15 years. But I stopped doing fashion in the 70s, really. Now I just really do. Sort of occasionally for ID magazine, English magazine.
And how do you spend your free time?
Don't have any free time. I'm always working.
You're a great subject.
Am I?
Yes. I wish I was a great photographer so I could capture...
Do you?
Yes.
Practice.
I will. I practice. Oh, great.
Perseverance.
Oh, really?
An American said it. Waldo Emerson. Be true to yourself. I got a feeling he nicked it off of Shakespeare, though.
What was the first time you picked up a camera?
My mother's Brownie when I was about 10, and that's how I started. I used to like processing it. And I never thought of it as anything artistic. It was just I like the magic of doing that and something coming out. You know, putting a piece of paper in some we could do with a shield here. You know that.
But lighting is such a key element of
No, lighting
photography.
is not nothing. It's all nonsense. Just do what you
really.
believe in. Yeah, don't get into all that rubbish about composition and lighting and all that. No,
you
just do what you want to do. Don't worry about lighting. Some of the best pictures I've ever seen are badly lit.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you
Unless you want to make commercials or do advertising pictures. I mean, I used to make lots. I used to direct. I suppose I've directed, I don't know, maybe 1,500 commercials. But that's something else, though. That's nothing to do with art. That's to make some money.
Oh, right.
And the best ones I did were actually here in America for a company called Chiat Day.
Really? What are some
When he died, I stopped doing them because he was the only guy I liked working for, really, on commercials. Because I can't work with corporate people.
What were some of the products? Can you remember?
Oh, Reebok, American Express. I don't remember all the usual suspects.
Sure.
Drexel Burnham. I forget.
And as far as
Cross of America, all those kind of things.
what about
Donald Trump. I made some for Donald Trump. That was quite funny.
Really?
I liked him. I didn't think I would, but I liked him.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, we did some great commercials with Tip O'Neill, and it was great meeting Tip O'Neill and Norman Mailer, who was a bit of a wanker.
What is wanker? Can you translate that?
Wanker, no, a bit of a... He wanted the money, but he didn't want to do the commercial. Don King, he was great. He offered me a job. He asked me if I'd like to direct his talk show. He didn't quite understand what I did, but he was all right. And Dr. Roof, I love Dr. Roof.
Oh, he's a character.
General Haig. And I threw away the scripts because I said the scripts won't work. I'm not going to ask Tip O'Neill these stupid things to say, so I just said, say what you like and I'll edit it afterwards. And it
was he good?
Worked. Tip O'Neill, oh, he was great.
Really?
And I edited it blind. I just edited to the sound, not to the images.
Are you one of those photographers that has lots of assistants?
I'm not a photographer. I'm not one of those photographers.
No, you're not. No. That has a lot of assistants.
I have who I need.
Uh-huh.
I don't have them for the sake of having them. They get in the way. Sometimes you can have too much help.
Exactly. Well, you are such a wonderful person to interview. You were most delightful. You made my afternoon.
Oh, good. I'm very happy.
You did. I was so thrilled to meet you.
I usually make women's nights, not their afternoons.
Oh, well. Well, it's still early. It's still early. Okay, you'll be my cover story.
Winfred Rember.
Okay. How old were you when you first started your art? Started being creative?
Creative? About 4 years old, maybe.
Who inspired you? Was there a parent? Was there...
Well, I was inspired just by hanging around in the cotton field. I didn't want to be there, so I was trying to find something else to do besides pick cotton. So I began to play with different things that grow in the cotton field, and like the maypops, and just take them and just make things out of them.
Where were you born?
I was born in Americus, Georgia.
What is the best thing about your creativity? How does it make you feel when you create something?
Well, I love creating things from my memory as a child, so, I feel kind of good about that.
How would you describe your art?
Gee, that's a good question. How would I describe my art? I would describe it as something that I'm trying to send a message to people of the real way that black life was lived back in the 60s. Because sometimes I hear discussions and see movies on television and things, and they don't really tell the truth. So I'm trying to tell the truth through these pictures.
My name is Vivian Ducat, and I'm a filmmaker, and I'm the filmmaker who made All Me, The Life and Times of Winfred Rember, the film about Winfred, who's sitting here on my right.
How did you two meet?
I went to a gallery opening that was a benefit for an arts program that one of my children is in, and I walked into this Madison Avenue gallery, and the walls were covered in this brightly colored art done on tooled leather with these incredible scenes and people in bars and people out in fields and whatever. And there was very little written on the walls about what this was about, and I saw the man standing in the corner who I figured was the person responsible for this art, and I went up to him, I said, "So where did you learn how to do this?" And he said, "Prison." And then I said, "Oh," and then I asked him another question, and he tells me the whole story of how he met Patsy, this wonderfully told story with this sort of cadence of a traditional storyteller, and it's like, there's a film there, this man's incredible. So then, for the rest of the hour that I was there, I worked the floor trying to get the right phone number, email addresses so that I could show them the work that I had done as a filmmaker over the last decades. And my pitch was, you need a short film for this gallery show so that people, when this man is not standing in the corner, you know who he is and how, from whence this came. And they called me up the next week. I came in, they said, "Okay, if you can get this done in the next couple of weeks so it can be part of the show." I said, "I can." I got them an 8 or 9 minute film that's actually playing down the block here at the pop-up gallery. And then once we were done, we really knew that there was a bigger film here, that it was the contextual story of the fact that there were chain gangs in the 1960s and 70s, that we don't really think about that the South remained segregated for a long time in places beyond when people in the North thought that this had all been overcome. And we convinced the gallery owners, the Adelsons, that really there was a longer film. And it took time, and at some point in July of 2010, I got this email saying, "We want the movie, Winfred the movie." And that it was about a year of production, a little less than a year. We were done, we locked picture, where we actually finished the last finalizing in May of 2011.
Patsy Rembert, Winfred Rembert's wife.
Yes.
All of his work is true life people that he met as a child. And he's doing these pictures in order to keep the memory and to tell a story, because each picture has its own story that he do.